Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's that time again, folks. Time for the world famous motion picture Retribution Power Hour, presented to you by the illustrious Evening Brothers. Take it away, band.
Welcome to the Motion Picture Retribution Power Hour, hosted by the Evening Brothers. I am your host, Brother Lincoln. I almost forgot my own name, but we are pushing through. This is the only podcast on the entire internet hosted by three white guys who talk about bad movies. What is up? Please introduce yourselves, everyone else.
Yeah, the order on that was fucked. I am Brother John. And I'm here to party. This is the episode. This is it. I'm calling shots now. This is our best episode we've ever recorded.
That puts so much pressure on me. Thank you. Okay.
Nah, it's good. Yeah, this is it.
You know, before we hit record, we spent a lot of time talking about how good this episode was going to be. Not at all about our reactions to the movie. I have no gauge of like what you even thought about the movies at this stage. I'm so excited.
That's because we're fucking professionals, Lincoln. Brother Lincoln, we are professionals. We save it for the ring.
We save it for the ring. Preston, we're in the ring. Stop saving it. Tell us who you are.
2 out of 3.
You know, I was going. You know, we always do this bit where you guys just start talking and totally bulldoze my intro.
It's called a podcast. Preston.
I am Brother Preston, and I am also here to party. This movie was
good to know.
Stole my thunder.
Not as bad as the reviews online would have you believe, but goddamn, this movie fucking sucks.
It's so bad. Okay, wait. I'm gonna guess
around the horn.
I want to guess each of your reactions really quick because John.
Okay. All right.
So my own personal reaction was, I didn't hate it as much as I was worried I was going to, but it didn't really do a lot for me except for there's a couple slow-mo car explosions that I quite enjoyed. John, I'm guessing you kind of liked it. I'm guessing you would make someone else watch this if you had it on DVD. Am I correct?
Well, so I went on a little journey with this one. I went on a Hobbit-style journey into Mordor for this particular flick, because I watched it and it sucks so fucking hard. It blows the most. This is maybe the worst movie I've ever seen. It's so slow and boring and poorly paced and poorly done. But then I woke up the next morning and I couldn't stop thinking about this fucking movie.
Couldn't stop thinking about Ballistic Ecks Vs Sever.
I watched Ballistic Ecks Vs Sever on Monday night, okay? And then I woke up Tuesday and I was like, I could probably crack through it again. And my wife said, absolutely not. We're never watching that movie again. Please don't do that. And then I was like, no, you're right. And so then I woke up today, Wednesday morning, thinking, no, not only could I have to see that movie again. So here's what happened. Darcy, my wife, she left for work about an hour before I had to go to work. So I had this hour gap and I was like, okay, it's an hour and a half movie. I don't know what I can do here because I have an hour. And then I remembered my sweet, sweet brother Preston gave us a little tipperoonie for what to do if you don't have enough time to watch a movie. So I popped that thing into 5th gear and I watched it at 1.5 speed.
Yeah.
And my guys...
Is it so much better at 1.5 speed?
It's a crisp hour at 1.5 speed and it fucking kind of rules though. There's something about the speed ramped like George Miller Mad Max action set pieces that are in this movie that it's like I unlocked a secret hidden layer where the movie just felt so slow and weird when I watched it. Popping it into 1.5 kind of fucked it in a good, cool way.
Cool. Great. That's good to know. I think I definitely see this movie is so poorly paced. The action scenes are so perfunctory. They are so obligatory as you watch them that just getting through the action scenes and getting straight to the inevitable 2 or 3 car pile up at the end of every single action set piece in this movie is really useful.
Yeah. The weird thing is that I feel like I'm a daywalker. I have a foot in both worlds because I understand what you're saying and I agree with you. Because the first time watching it through, I was like, man, like I wrote a note here. Sever is fighting like a ninja turtle, like an old school one in the suit.
Oh yeah,
Because she just fights so slow. But 1.5, suddenly you open up this, you take the Lucy, the limitless pill, and all of a sudden it's like she kind of is getting it. It's kind of cool.
I think we should probably tell our dear listeners what this fucking movie is actually about. So, Ballistic.
Now, which movie is that?
Ballistic Ecks Vs Sever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Ballistic Ecks Vs Sever. Preston, can you take a quick run at the title? It's just such a fucking heavy title.
It really,
it
elegantly rolls off the tongue, you know? Ballistic Ecks Vs Sever.
You know, my favorite thing about the title is that it doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
It makes no goddamn
sense. That's my favorite thing, too, because it's... Not only do we not know who Ecks or Sever is, it's also not about Ecks versus Sever, and Ballistic is nothing.
No, Ballistic is just the movie itself is Ballistic. I don't even if the movie was only called Ballistic, I could give it a pass because they just chose a cool sounding word. But this movie is called Ballistic, subtitle Ecks vs Sever, as if this is an entry in the Ballistic anthology. We're stepping into the Ballistic cultural canon to watch Antonio Banderas and Lucy Liu make meaningless action at other random cars and people for 1.5 hours. Yeah, boy, this title doesn't make any sense.
This feels so much like a Fast and Furious sequel, like one in the middle of the franchise before 5, but after like Tokyo
3,
Drift. So it's like somewhere, it's like 4.5.
4.1. I don't think it's even half of a Fast and Furious movie. So it was made in 2003. It stars Antonio Banderas and Lucy Liu as two characters who could not give two shits about this movie that they're in.
Or their life or anything going on.
Or anything at all. It has this needlessly confusing plot. So I guess we'll get into the plot a little bit. We start with a mom driving her child home from the private jet airport back to their house, and they get to the house and you see an agent pull up a little ID card that says DIA. But this is not DIA as in Denver International Airport. This is DIA as in Defense Intelligence Agency. And the only reason I know that is because I looked it up because they never say what DIA means in the entire movie.
Forgive my youthful ignorance. Is that a thing that exists? Because that sounds like a thing that you were like, we need this agency. I don't know. We'll put Defense Intelligence Agency or whatever. But eventually we'll come up with like a better title for it.
No, it's only real in the sense that like S.H.I.E.L.D. is real. It's not a real intelligence agency.
Yes.
Wait, you're telling me that
real.
Ballistic Ecks vs Sever isn't a fully accurate documentary style film on a real life government agency portraying real human beings and real events, persons living and or dead,
and real locations? Did you guys know that Canada doesn't exist? Ballistic Ecks vs Sever made it up.
Yeah, they made it up for the sake of the movie. This movie takes a lot of place in Canada for the fact that nobody has a Canadian accent and it's all about U.S. government agencies.
And because it's cheaper to film in Canada and they didn't think people could just accept that Canada looks a lot like the U.S.
What? I don't know what you're saying. I think the movie had to take place in Canada so that we could just be endlessly confused the whole time about which governments are doing what.
For the plot. Are governments involved in this?
Yeah, it's like the FBI or something. There's the DIA, which are the bad government people, and the FBI, which are the good government people.
The airport people. We're assuming it's TSA.
And so the leader of the DIA, his name is Grease or Glenn or Vic or something.
It's Garrick, but we're calling him Grease from now on.
So our main bad guy Grease has stolen some sort of secret weapon and is stashing it, but that was not really well established or well explained. And also Lucy Liu is Sever, and she has kidnapped Grease's son for reasons that are unclear but not intriguing, just literally unclear. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Grease Jr.
That perfectly describes the entire plot of this movie. Like, things happen that like should be interesting and intriguing, and none of them are.
Yeah, that's because you were watching it too slow.
Jen, I remember when you told it. I don't remember what movie we were talking about, but you said just telling the audience a lie and then saying, "Nope, gotcha. Here's the truth," does not count as a twist, and that is all that this movie is composed of. It's like you thought this because we told you this. Oh nope, it's that. Now we told you that. Got you. Twist.
No, it's a different thing. Gotcha, bitch. No, it's like especially that final twist of where the disease or nanobots or whatever the fuck it's supposed to be, where that twist is like. It's such a non-issue because they announce finally where it is and they reveal the twist. And the first thought I had was like, oh, is that what we were trying to do? Were we trying to figure out where that was? I didn't know that. That's cool. That's exciting.
So you'd imagine in a regular spy thriller film, there would be a scene where the main character gets told what the mission is and who they're working with, and then they agree or disagree with what's going on, and then they go out on the mission. This movie... dares to show us a boardroom where they kind of mill around and shoot the shit for like 5 minutes, and then everyone acts as if they now know what the assignment is. But I watched that scene. I literally rewound that scene and watched it again. I have no clue what they were trying to accomplish in that boardroom, in that future boardroom.
None of it.
Spat a bunch of names, and then there's this slideshow of a bunch of characters, and then you start seeing them in the movie, and you could ask me now. I don't know whether or not they were good guys or bad guys. That British guy, I don't remember.
You're talking about Ross from Friends.
Yeah, Ross from Friends, but British with a little spiky Logan Eccles haircut.
Ross from Friends.
Ross from
Friends.
It's wrong. It's
Hello,
short for Ross and old.
Ross. I'm here to solve all your French problems. It's me, Ross, and I found Rachel.
I'm Ross and old P friends. Actually, in Britain, it's called chaps. It's called good old chaps.
It's called Me and My Mates. I'm Ross from Me and My Mates.
I don't even know where to start with this movie. It doesn't make any sense.
No, you're definitely you've got the right angle here because they take Antonio Banderas into they find him in a bar and they're like, are you X? And he's like, no. And then they're like, are you sure? And he's like, okay, I guess I am.
No,
and so then
you gave it way too much energy just there. You asked me the question and I'll be Antonio Banderas in this movie. Okay, ready?
Okay. Hey, is it you, Nicholas T. X?
No, it's not.
But we are pretty sure it is you.
My wife died. I'm really sad about it.
No, she didn't. And also, here's why. So then they take him into a boardroom.
I'm really passionate. I'm going to have a flashback of a stationary angle of a car exploding that never changes.
Oh, can we talk about the car
Wait, I do want to talk about that.
It is...
Yes.
Yeah, I think we ought
the least interesting dynamic fucking shot, and they use it like 6 times, the exact same fucking thing.
It is so clear that they blew up one car and they got one camera angle that worked, and so they just slowed it down enough and they cut back to it 6 times in a row, and it just keeps exploding. And you go, there's a critical moment of an explosion that it's interesting, and then after that it's just a fire. The car's just on fire, which is not very interesting to watch.
And I hear what you're saying, and first watch, I 100% would have
but watching it at 1.5 times speed.
Second Sonic watch, the Flash watch that I did, there's something... It took me on this little journey from, they only got one shot of that car exploding to they fucking exploded a car for this movie. And then all of a sudden, I put myself in this headspace of like, they blew so much up for this flick. Like, so much, you guys. And it goes so fast when you're watching it fast. It goes so fast.
And like, these movie pacing problems are so solved if you just get through the movie sooner. Guys, I swear.
Yeah. Oh, it's like a train. It's like a high-speed bullet train. It's amazing.
When you just shorten it down to an episode of variety television, that's when it really hits its stride.
The thing is, I don't think this would apply to all movies. That's the thing that fucks me up, is this one is at such a speed that it really does feel like you're a little bit high watching it. Like, it feels like everything is just going a little bit slow.
You say at such a speed. I think you just mean slow. Like, the characters talk slow and they walk around slowly and they fight slowly.
No, they do,
run
and it
slow.
does. And it's like, I think that there's a cut of this movie where you take all the action set pieces and you just bump them up to 1.5. Everything else can stay about the same. Maybe like 1.1 or 2.
No.
Yeah, don't get too hasty.
I think action set pieces go to 1.5 and everything else goes to at least 2 times. You cut this movie
it's like
into a tight
action.
like 45 minutes where we don't give a shit about any of the bullshit in the middle that doesn't even matter anyways, and it's just action set piece after action set piece.
Yeah, you're right, Preston. About the bullshit in the middle, it doesn't matter. What is your movie when fucking Johnny Mnemonic has a more cohesive third act than you? Like, what's your movie where there's a telepathic dolphin who's killing Dolph Lundgren with his mind, and that made more sense than whatever bullshit in the train yard happens at the end of this movie?
I like that in this entire movie, Antonio Banderas does absolutely nothing that's like interesting or fun or cool to watch. He gets hit by a car once. And besides that, he just sort of like walks around with a shotgun, and then in the train yard, he like walks away. Lucy Liu is like going crazy and just like killing it, and then he just sort of like bang bang, and then he just goes back to just like stiffly like a cardboard cutout waddling across the scene.
Yeah,
is
getting
the only way I can
paraded
describe
by
his
the
acting.
director. Guys, did you know the director in this movie is named Chaos?
Yeah, I'd like to talk about that if you can real quick.
His name is Chaos.
I have some interesting things to tell you guys about the director.
Do tell.
So, all right, I want to get the exact detail. You know what? I don't. It's funnier if I don't get the exact details right. So, I did do a deep dive on this guy because it was like, what headspace do you have to be to make this movie? And turns out he is the son of Thai royalty, and he just kind of bought his way into Hollywood and into making movies because he just really wanted to be a guy who made a good action movie. And I would say he isn't, but he just wanted to be a guy that did. And he made another movie called One Night in Bangkok, which I had seen before, and I remember watching it and being like, this is possibly the slowest action movie I've ever seen. This sucks so bad. So it's just like, I don't know if he is just operating on a different like plane. On a different and slightly worse plane. At this point, the experience that I had watching it at 1.5 speed makes me wonder, could I pop this in reverse and open a portal to hell? I don't know, but it is, and it kind of feels like he's giving me hints toward that angle, because I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but I went through and I counted the number of cars moving in reverse shots there are, which is not a thing you would normally think of because it doesn't really matter. But seeing so many, I realized I don't think I've seen a lot of movies that have cars going in reverse. Did you guys know there are 12 shots of cars going in reverse in this movie?
That's more than I would have guessed. That's more than I even think I noticed.
That's
a lot.
So many. That's so many.
We keep talking about the action scenes. I think we should work together as a group and kind of give the listener a mental picture of what it's like to watch these action scenes. So,
okay, can I take a crack at it?
Yeah, just set the scene for us. Yeah, and then we'll all start contributing.
Okay. I don't even know which one you want, but we're gonna do the main one.
It could be
Ecks Vs
anyone.
Sever.
It could be any action scene.
The big deal.
They're all exactly the same.
So Ecks and Sever are on top of a roof.
Yes.
And I'm just gonna describe some action to you. Are you ready? At the pace at which it happens.
Yes, great.
And then actually, I'm gonna do it twice. I'm gonna do it once at normal speed. And once at 1.5. Do it again.
Okay, wait. I cannot do
at 1.5.
Before, in every single action scene, it is the same sound cue that plays. It's this really generic guitar riff with drums that plays over and over again on an endless loop every time there's an action scene.
Oh man!
So you do that. I'm gonna do the guitar riff. Preston,
I just want to
do
say
the dialogue.
we're gonna table that discussion about the music for later because I have so many things to say about the music later.
Okay, great. Yeah. Okay, ready? Let's begin. And
okay, do we all know our roles? Preston, do you know that you're dialogue?
Yep, I know that I am dialogue. Yes.
Cool.
Okay. Ecks and Sever enter the screen. We're on top of a building. Ecks walks up to Sever. Says,
"Where's my wife?"
Sever slowly looks at him and responds,
"You want your wife back?"
Sever looks back.
"Yes, I want my wife."
Punch. Kick. Punch. Throwing a punch. Punch is dodged. Kick. Kick. And that's the scene, everybody. Beautiful. Beautiful work. 10 out of 10. Oscar for the best motion picture. It's amazing. It's the best thing that ever happens.
That was such a treat for all of us. I loved that is so close to what it's like to watch the movie. Okay, now we've got to do the exact same thing at 1.5 times speed. Okay, ready?
Yeah, okay. Are you ready?
Yeah. And
5, 4, 3, 2. X walks up to Sever. Sever
"Where's my wife?"
She says. Yep, that's right. Sever responds.
"You want to find your wife?"
X looks at Sever, noticing that the line was slightly different.
"I'm just looking for my wife."
Punch, kick, kick, punch, punch, dodge, punch, dodge, kick, punch, dodge, kick, end of scene. And you tell me which of those was more interesting to watch and listen to, because I think I fucking know. I'm pretty sure.
Guys,
The action.
why don't we just do that?
The action in the
Infinite
show
comedy glitch.
can be described by a little kid learning how to play a video game, and he's on like the easiest level, where the bad guys just sort of stand there, but he only knows one button, and it's the jumping, spinning
He's
kick
only got
button.
the one.
So he presses that a whole bunch of times in a row, and then sort of taps a few other buttons, just like mashing them with his finger, and then just goes back to spamming the spinning kick button.
And it's one of those poorly done like Wii games where the animation for that one attack takes like 1.5 seconds every single time you want to do it. And there's the same
and
little
Antonio
sound
Banderas
cue.
is in the corner and he's just punching the air because he doesn't know what he's doing because it's your uncle playing.
Yeah,
the
he's just walking straight into the corner without moving, just bouncing up and down.
Oh, it's so good.
I mean,
okay, so here's the thing with the plot of this movie is that it's just like X is told he needs to go talk to Sever or fight Sever or whatever. Some shit happens for like an hour, and then the third act of the movie happens. Like it's not a thing. I do want to talk about the mall fight scene for just a second, just to highlight, just to appreciate the extras just throwing their flailing bodies, the stuntmen,
to the ground,
just getting fucking bodied by gravity is one of the greatest things I've ever seen, especially, again, 1.5 speed, because they are great.
I gotta say, the idea, we talk about this a lot on the podcast, the idea of a hitman or an assassin with no weapons fighting off a special task force, and every time she beats one of the guys up, she takes their weapon and slowly is like climbing her way up the upgrade tree to the biggest possible gun. That's such a good idea for an action scene. Like, if that was in a John Wick movie, or even a Fast and Furious movie, or even a movie with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in it, I can imagine that being a really fun scene.
God forbid.
God forbid. And imagining him as the main character eyes a bigger gun and then decides to take the next biggest gun as the scene goes along is so much fun. This movie is so
it's pretty good.
Stilted and lifeless, though, that does not carry through even in the slight. It doesn't carry through at all.
You know what's funny is you mentioned that that's what that scene was, and I didn't actually pick up on that's what she was doing until you said that, Joseph.
Yeah.
So you're exactly right. It does not play.
No. And also, I still don't understand what they were trying to accomplish. Why did they have so many guns if they knew they weren't going to try to kill her? Why didn't they just try to swarm her with guys to just, like, pin her down and like, arrest her? Why did they try to shoot her? What is the goal
What are we
here?
getting out of that?
Yeah, why are we bringing so many guns when we're giving strict orders to take her in alive?
Well, and I love that the whole time
I did notice
the bad guy is like, there she is, target in the open, take her out. And then like 2 seconds later is like, no, don't get her. Like, we need her alive.
Don't take her
and
out.
then like 2 seconds later flips back and he's like, what are you doing? She's in the open. Get her.
Yeah, the scene geography, general like structure of what an action scene would be, it's not, none of it's there.
It's not.
It's interesting shots of explosions and guns and stuff, but like, is anyone hurt by these explosions? Because I don't think we ever see someone get hurt by an explosion. We just see them look at it and move to the side by about an inch and go like, oh shit, fuck, I don't know.
Oh,
God,
well.
glad I wasn't over there.
I'm going to tell everyone about this when I get home. That was crazy.
I quit. I'm quitting now. I'm done, I think.
I no longer want to work at this Starbucks anymore right across from the intersection. I just cannot stand to be here anymore. That was awful. There is a scene. Preston said we'll table the music, so we'll talk about the music in a second. But there is a scene when the main bad guy, Grease, or whatever his name is, tells his
Grimace.
subordinate. Grease tells his subordinate, Gronk, or whatever, to kill himself because his subordinate has failed and let his son get kidnapped. And the guy...
Oh, you're talking about the only good scene in the movie. The scene that rips so much ass for no reason.
Well, he's like, back in the noble days, knights would take their own lives if they failed their king. And then he hands him a silver gun and he goes, do what's right. And for a second, you're like, oh, shit. Fuck, yeah, it's so cool. And you think that, but no, what he has to do is spell out every step of the way. So he goes, okay, now pick up the gun. Okay, now put it against your head. Okay, now pull the trigger. But he doesn't pull the trigger. He, at the last second, points the gun at his boss and fires it. But his boss has, in some miraculous turn of events, anticipated that this exact scenario was about to happen and rigged his gun to be one of those special backwards guns. You know, the guns that shoot backwards? Those guns with a hammer that hits the cap of the bullet, but it just spins around inside there. It goes back. You know those backwards guns?
Well, it doesn't spin around. It goes on a little Hot Wheels track.
Where the barrel is bent in a U shape and it goes...
Yeah. That would have been more believable, Preston. Why was it a backwards gun?
I saw that scene and I wrote a note, Chekhov's other gun, which is just like my idea that there's this gun that's important, but it just like will never come up again ever.
Oh yeah, because that would have been a pretty cool setup for a big showdown at the end where maybe a good guy grabs that gun and you are worried that they're going to use it wrong.
Yeah, and then they turn it around, they break their wrist, turn it around and shoot it.
That's what John Wick would have done for sure.
Yeah, he's committed enough.
He would have put the gun in his mouth and pulled the trigger with his tongue and shot at him.
And we would have got a close-up of that, which is pretty cool. Can we fucking talk about the music?
Oh,
yeah,
let's talk about the music. I would like an opportunity to be in charge of music for this scene reenactment.
Let the slow cooker cook. Let it go. Go off. Go off, slow cooker.
All right. So here's how this is gonna work. Lincoln.
Okay.
Well, okay. I'll let you guys choose. One of you has to be Lucy Liu, and the other one has to be Antonio Banderas. Who's gonna be who?
I think my Antonio Banderas impression is so perfect. I need to continue my legacy.
Excellent. Done.
That's so funny because I was going to say I think the roles are pretty clear and I am Lucy Liu.
Okay, good.
Excellent. You know,
what's going on in this scene?
I was going to say, John, that you got to be Lucy Liu and Lincoln had to continue being Antonio Banderas, but I wanted to make sure that you guys felt like you got some choice.
We're in the drift today,
and
folks.
this is going to be the music of the final action scene where we're going to have a shot of Lincoln doing badass Lucy Liu thing, or John doing badass Lucy Liu things, and then we'll have a shot of Lincoln doing Antonio Banderas things, and I will reenact the sound as it switches.
Just so I can get a handle on this one. How do you imagine this? Do you see me describing what Lucy Liu would do or giving just Lucy Liu type grunts?
You know,
yeah, I got a lot less to work with if I can't describe what I'm doing as Antonio Banderas.
We'll do describe what you're doing, and then I'll say switch.
And then a little sound
we'll
effect to
switch.
go with it.
How's that sound?
Switch
Can
to
I do
what?
a little? Can I do a little sound effect and a line to go with it?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, thanks.
All right.
I feel like I really had to work for that
Excellent.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
This is turning into more of a thing than I wanted it to be. But Lincoln, go ahead and do badass
you made it a
Lucy
thing.
Liu music things.
Okay, cool.
He doesn't know who's what. Do you want me to do it? Do you want me to start? Lucy Liu, me?
Yeah, my bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, it's okay. So Lucy Liu, she does this cool spinning kick, and she goes,
And then Antonio Banderas has a gun and he kind of shuffles
da
around.
da la ti da da. Do 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 do. Generic music from any sitcom ever. La da 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 da.
Yeah, and I go, and I get hit with my
Do,
own pipes that I exploded.
Do,
I
do,
cause an
do.
explosion on the train, and then I
Da-da-da-da.
get hit by it.
Oh no.
And now we cut back to Lucy.
Oh, the most generic elevator music you've ever heard. Oh no,
Go,
whatever
John.
shall happen. Back
Go,
to
John.
Lucy Liu.
"Oh, me again." I didn't realize the game was continuing. Does another the exact same cool spin kick, but really
I just
slow.
hate how the music keeps switching from the shittiest elevator
Yeah.
sitcom music anytime it's Antonio Banderas and then right back to rock music for Lucy Liu. It is the most disjointed,
It is-
annoying thing I've ever seen or heard.
Can we talk about Lucy Liu and Antonio Banderas as two stars of this movie? Okay, one, they basically never speak to each other in this entire film, which is kind of crazy because the movie's called Ecks Vs Sever, and you'd imagine that that the movie could be about their rivalry, which it's not. It could be about that they are enemies who are put on a mission together, which it's also not. I suspected after I learned both those options were untrue that Antonio Banderas, having mysteriously lost his wife, who was also like an agent or whatever, and then this random woman showing up, and then all of a sudden now they know where his wife is. I assumed that maybe the Lucy Liu would have been his wife, and he would have operating under some sort of alter ego. But can someone explain to me why they didn't make that happen? Because I just don't understand why you wouldn't want that to be the story.
Lincoln, I want to support you in this because we're doing a podcast together, you and I, and we're just generally friends and brothers and whatnot. But what, in your mind, what is the scene where he sees video footage of her beaten ass and he doesn't go, hey, she looks a whole lot like my wife that you just said was alive?
Well, that's they wouldn't obviously have done that. The shoe dropped once that scene happened, obviously, John.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So it's like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but from afar. I don't like what you're creating. I
Like a
disagree
reverse
with your
Mr. and
whole
Mrs.
premise.
Smith.
I don't think it's good what you're suggesting. I think there should be allowed to be more than one woman in the movie. I don't know why you're trying to limit it to one. But I'm more open-minded, I guess, than you are in that way. So I guess that's pretty cool.
You're saying, I just don't why did they waste? Lucy Liu has absolutely no character in this whole movie. She could have had even a little
Well,
bit of
that
character.
is true.
If she
Yeah.
had some sort of relationship with anyone else in the story, fine. I'll open it up. If she was related to anyone.
What would have been interesting to me is if he had been like the guy who killed her family, and she had to figure out like a way to get over that and be okay with it, knowing that he was just operating under rules. He didn't know that there were people there. Maybe that's what it was. I see what you're saying, that there needs to be more to bring her into the fold. The problem is we know who she is from all the movies leading up to, from the Sever origin story. Obviously, Sever begins.
Ballistic Origins colon Sever.
Yeah.
Ballistic
Yeah,
Ecks vs Sever Origins. Sever.
Origins for Sever.
No, Preston, you had it perfect. Say it again. It was so good.
Yeah, he's right. I'm sorry. Hit us again. Let's take another dip of
Say it
that,
one more
dip
time.
that
Hit us.
sweet pork.
Ballistic Ecks vs Sever Origins Sever.
Sever.
Oh, it's good. It's good stuff. It tastes so good. Chef's kiss. It's perfect. No, you know what, Lincoln? I see that you're trying to move the podcast along, and I'd like to just take a second because we're about halfway through. I think this is normally the time, and you know that I always key you up to welcome to the Motion Picture Retribution Battle Hour. That's right, everybody. It's fine, you're funny.
I really like your hard rock rendition of the theme song. That was awesome.
Thanks, I worked pretty hard on it. This is Find Your Funny. I have devised, you guys, Find Your Funny giveth, and Find Your Funny taketh away. I think that is obvious, given some of the ones we've done in the past, vis-a-vis Muppets and the fuck word. This week, for some reason, the well ran extremely deep. So I had 3 really fucking good options for what our Find Your Funny was going to be. And then I had this idea, the Motion Picture Retribution Battle Hour.
Battle Hour.
So I asked you boys to bring some dice, did I not? And or digital dice. Either is fine.
Yes, you did.
Here's what I want you to do. I would like you, I have come up with 13 different characters that you can get. You are choosing your fighter with 2 dice. I need you to roll 2 6-sided dice. I will note, they are all characters from the movies we have watched.
Oh, okay.
And I will note that you, if I'm giving tips, try to go for a high or low number. That's
you don't want a middle number?
The middle is sort of a valley of not so good stuff.
Hey, John, can I ask you, do you know how dice work? I cannot go for a number when I roll 2 dice.
For high or low. It's up to you which one you want to aim for. But aim for high or aim for low. And I'm not going to read you the list. I'm going to let the dice decide which of these very extremely funny options I'm going to tell you about.
Okay.
You were choosing your fighter. And before you do that, I would just like to note that you will be fighting me. You and Preston, Lincoln, will be fighting me. I will be playing Nimue the Blood Queen from Hellboy, who has 20 hit points, and I will also be playing. I will also be playing the Grubagach, who has 2 hit points plus 8 if I can do a blood magic, which we'll get to that.
Do we need to roll for initiative? Do I need a chart in front of me?
Lincoln, I would like you to roll your dice and give me a number, what you come out with.
Okay, rolling right now.
Okay.
Ooh, nice. I got what I aimed for. I got an 8.
Okay. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, great. And Preston, do you want to throw me a number real quick?
Let me roll my digital dice here. We have a number 6.
Well, he got dead in the middle.
Okay.
We both got pretty middle numbers.
So this is the best news in the world. What's cool is that you guys are actually not allowed to switch characters. So
okay, cool.
Lincoln, Preston, you will be Johnny Mnemonic from Johnny Mnemonic.
No, John, please. Please.
You have 9 hit points.
Please,
9.
please, John.
Excellent.
I need to be Johnny Mnemonic.
Lincoln, you will be playing Zack Snyder from Rebel Moon.
I like the character of
Zack
Zack Snyder from the movie Rebel Moon.
Zack Snyder, auteur filmmaker of Rebel Moon. You have 7 hit points.
What's my dex?
So,
What's my dex modifier?
Here's how this game is going to work. You can get rid of the rest of your dice. You just need 1 die. You are going to announce. We will each go around and announce.
John, you asked me. I had to dig around and find 3 6-sided die. You had me.
Yeah.
I could have just rolled 1 die 3 times.
The game has changed in some significant ways. So, here's how the game's gonna work, and we're the boys in the lab, they said it wasn't quite ready, so we'll see. We're beta testing this game. This is gonna show up again, this game, because I'm really fucking proud of it. So, your fighters, Johnny Mnemonic and Zack Snyder, will be fighting Nimue the Blood Queen. The game is gonna work as such. Every person gets a turn in each round. You can do two things. You can one of two things. You get one action per turn. You can either defend or you can attack. And now here's what I'm going to need from you boys. I need you to be creative with your attacks. So you are going to announce your attack and or defenses. You're going to tell me what your attack or defense is. And depending on how creative I think it is, that'll change how much and how good it fits with the character. That'll change how much value I give to this attack or defense.
Okay.
So after that, you will roll your die. 1 through 3 is a miss, and 4 and 5 are a hit, and 6 is a nat 6. That's a super hit. That'll be +2 to whatever amount I gave it. How do we feel?
That feels
Everybody get your
great.
fucking pens out, because we're going to do some math here.
Hey, here's some more Foley for us. This is my pen. Okay.
Wow, it's beautiful. All right, hold on. Let me get this. Zack Snyder is it 7, and Johnny Mnemonic is at 9. All right, I'm going to start us off. Obviously, I'm going to try for blood magic to get my Gruagach to up to snuff, if you will. So I'm going to roll that. It's just a roll to see if it works more than anything else. Rolling, and I got a 5, so it works. Now we have Gruagach with 10. Amazing. Now we're going to go me, Lincoln, Preston.
Okay, so it's my turn now?
Yeah, same order as announcements of movies.
Okay. I, as Zack Snyder, I want to attack the Gruagach through boredom. And how I'm going to do it is I'm going to write a really compelling story, but then I'm going to explain it in such specific attention to these really, really hyper surreal moments that he completely loses track of what's going on and kind of gets disengaged with the admittedly intriguing story because of all of the flashy visuals that I'm explaining to him.
Okay, all right. I'm going to give that 3. I think that's really solid, but it's a little on the nose, so that's going to be a 3 hit points. So go ahead, roll your die.
Okay, rolling. I got a 1.
Oh, it sucks. Gruagach remains alive. Fantastic. Preston.
Now, me as Johnny Mnemonic, I would like...
This is fun because Preston has to remember fucking anything about Johnny Mnemonic for this game.
I remember everything about Johnny Mnemonic.
Suck it, Lincoln. I'm about to butcher this movie for you.
This is great.
And I am going to use my absolutely incredible cyber hacking skills and my super cool VR headset in order to attempt to crash what's the monster's name?
Gruagach.
In an attempt to crash the Gruagach from here.
Sure. All right, I'm giving that one a sweet 5. Yeah, that's very good.
And I have rolled a 5.
And that's a hit. All right, Gruagach is down to 5. Fantastic.
I can crash you from here, man.
It's Nimue the Blood Queen. It is her turn. So she, I'm gonna attack Johnny Mnemonic because you hurt my little special boy, my special pig boy. You hurt him so good. So I'm going to throw one of the boxes that my arm used to be in at his head. And we're going to call that... how do you guys feel about... You guys can take a little votey here. What do you think about 3? 3 feel good?
3 feels fair, I guess.
I'd say a 2.
Even though it wasn't very
thanks.
creative.
Oh, okay. 2 then. Fine. Fuck you. 2. And it's a natural 6. So Johnny Mnemonic is down to 5 hit points.
Down to 5? I thought I started with 9.
Motherfuckers. Yeah. And a natural 6 is an addition of 2 hit points. 2 plus 2 is 4.
Throwing a box at my head is
-5.
-4 hit points?
Preston, it hit you really hard in the corner part. It opened up in midair and clasped around your head. Get more creative.
Fucking bullshit over here.
Okay, I'm going to draw my blade and I'm going to execute a Snyder cut.
Yeah, that's a solid 10. Quite honestly, that's extremely good.
Oh, I only got a 2.
Fuck! I wanted it to go for you. All right. Preston, you have to remember more shit from Johnny Mnemonic.
I'm trying so hard to. I think, if I may, I would like to add the Blood Queen has a special little friend helping her out. So I would like to also.
Oh, you want to phone a friend? Who are you phoning?
I would also like to have a secondary character on the board. Jones the
familiar.
Dolphin. I would like to.
Yeah, okay. You can
bring him forth.
You know what? Jones the Dolphin will also will rock 5 hit points if you get him on the board.
Excellent.
Bring your Cyber Dolphin in. Roll for that, please. That's so good. This is the creativity I
wanted. What do I have to get to bring the Cyber Dolphin in?
Same as a hit. Just anything.
Same as a hit.
Above 3.
All right. Here we go. Big money. Big money. And it's a 2.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'll give. Hey, look. Here's the thing. I will give you the Cyber Dolphin, but it only got 2 hit points. Unfortunately,
2 hit points for Jones the Hey, you know what? I'll take it.
Yeah, so an additional side character. I would like to note that if you both die, one of you can play as Jones the Cyber Dolphin.
Oh, great.
Lincoln, here's your opportunity.
that makes it my turn. Zach, I'm noticing your ingenuity, and I'm not liking it. It doesn't feel good to me. So, however, as Nimue the Blood Queen, you know I'm always looking for a big sexy king. That's my whole thing. I'm looking for a king to rule over it. So I'm going to try to woo Zack Snyder over to my side. So I would love... I assume that the hit rate cannot be the same. I assume I have to get a 6 for this one. To
no,
win.
I say anything over... 3 is now included. So anything over 2.
Okay. Interesting. So... Preston, how do you feel about that?
Why not?
Yeah, he's great with it. Okay. Rolling. It's a natural 6 again.
Oh, perfect.
So, Zack Snyder is now on my side. He is my king. My natural blood king, Zack Snyder. This is great news. Let's fuck up that Cyber Dolphin and Johnny Mnemonic.
Okay, so as someone who has now been forcibly coerced with a natural 6 into the opposite team... I'm going to activate Rabid Online Fan Base perk, and I'm going to try to overwhelm Johnny Mnemonic's servers with people demanding that I resurrect a franchise or extend a movie or something.
It's very good. I'm gonna say 3 just because it's a pretty bad chance given that Zack Snyder is now jobless as far as I'm concerned. I think the opportunity for that was kind of lost in his weird animated series, so I'm going to give it 3 hit points. Give it a roll.
Okay, rolling. 1. Again.
1. Wow. Fucking Zack Snyder hitting it with the deuce again. Zack Snyder and the deuce.
Together forever. Oh no, I think Preston's froze.
Oh, Preston's got froze. Preston left, Preston's back. This is good. This is continuing the segment where Lincoln leaves.
Yeah, except nice. Preston this time. Wow.
We're back.
How is it to be on the other side?
Horrible.
Cool.
Awful.
Oh fuck! It's Preston's turn.
It's Preston's turn. Yeah.
Johnny Mnemonic, it's your turn. Fight against the two of us. Now, keep in mind, you've been creative already. You may continue to be as creative as you want. This is good.
Excellent. Jones is still with me, right?
Yeah, you got Jones.
Jones is still alive.
You got Jones.
Excellent. Points. Jones and I have decided, we're gonna break you guys down one at a time. So we have decided to leverage our combined knowledge and power of the internet to
disconnect from
create
the call?
mock reviews of Zack Snyder's movies.
Oh fuck! He's doing a review bomb. He made a review bomb.
And these will be good reviews, in hopes to continue inflating Zack Snyder's ego so much so that he decides to stage a coup against the Blood Queen.
Wow, that's something else. Okay, I'm not sure how to handle hit points on this one, but I'm gonna say it would definitely kill the Gruagach. I don't know if that counts, but that seems fair. So for the death of Gruagach, please roll Preston.
Damn, we have a 1.
Oh, no. Terrible news. Cyber Dolphin Jones is dead.
That doesn't make
Wait,
any
why?
sense.
I don't give a shit because he backfired. All the internet went into him and he died.
It was like that backwards gun.
All the Rotten Tomatoes, yeah, they went backward.
Oh, goodbye, Jones the Cyber Dolphin. You were a worthy sidekick.
Nimue the Blood Queen is gonna fuck up Zack Snyder, I think, again. So I'm just gonna. I'm trying to. So what am I gonna do? You know what? I'm going to bore you with lore about King Arthur. A thing that I know Zack Snyder is so interested in. It would have to take so many hit points to bore him. So I'm feeling good about 5. 5
Okay.
hit points against the old ZS.
Okay.
Give myself a little
Are you and Zack Snyder no longer on the same team?
I guess not.
No, he's being a bitch. Oh, I got a 4. No, wait, I got a 4. So yeah, that's 5 hit points on Zack.
Okay, so I'm almost dead.
Down to 2, Zack Snyder. Guys, make some major moves here. It's not going well. There's bodies lining the floor now with Cyber Dolphin parts.
Okay, I'm going to
Also,
use...
this game is longer than I thought it was going to go.
You gave yourself 20 health points.
Yeah, I didn't know. Again, it's in beta. It's in a beta test. Given that no hits have been made against Nimue the Blood Queen, I am going to bring her right on down to 10. That seems fair.
Okay, great. I love playing a game where the rules are being made up
Excellent.
on the fly as we're playing them.
It's in beta test. We are workshopping the Motion Picture Retribution Battle Hour, please.
I'm going to execute my very famous slow-mo speed ramp move, where I take a red camera and I slow Nimue down so much that she cannot perceive me anymore, and then I will speed up and I will punch her in her face.
That's good stuff. 5 hit points. Go ahead.
Okay, rolling. 5. Successful.
Yeah, amazing. Nimue the Blood Queen down to 5. Gruagok Reminder down to 5. Zack Snyder is at 2, and Johnny Mnemonic is at 5. Johnny, it's your turn.
Okay, Johnny, this is all you. It's all up to you now.
I'm trying so hard to remember any fucking portion of this movie that would be helpful.
Nimue the Blood Queen would like to remind Zack Snyder that Johnny Mnemonic also attacked Zack Snyder. So give that some thought. Maybe we could team up Johnny Mnemonic and end Zack Snyder for good.
Johnny Mnemonic has finally found the decryption key to remove all of the memories out of his head. And has realized that now that those memories are gone, other memories have resurfaced that he forgot about, in which certain
Like
memories
Sucker Punch
that
in
he
300.
knows really, really good kung fu,
Yes.
and
Oh no.
Now he knows kung fu.
utilizes an absolute monstrous kung fu combination upon the Blood Queen.
Wow. Okay. That'll be a tight 5 if you get it.
Tight 5. All right, here we
on.
go. It's a 3.
Unsuccessful.
I'm safe. She's safe. Amazing news. Tremendous news. Nimue the Blood Queen is tired of Gruagok's bullshit because he's complaining all the time. So I'm just going to sort of throw him at Johnny Mnemonic. That seems fair.
Okay,
Wait,
Gruagok was already dead.
No matter if this is successful
No,
or not, Gruagok dies.
Gruagok, yeah, Gruagok is gone. We're past Gruagok now.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to kill Gruagok in this moment and throw his limp fucking corpse at Johnny Mnemonic. I don't know, let's say 4 feel good?
Yeah, he's softer than a... Yeah,
Sure.
he's heavier than a cardboard.
Yeah, because he's getting big, like he was big, but he's getting small as she's throwing him, so...
Okay, cool. Yeah.
That's a 3. That's a miss. So he just launched Gruagok's dead corpse, dead ass, bones and body against a wall. Fantastic.
I'm going to walk up to Nimue and say, hey, babe, I really want to take you back. I think we can make it work together. And I'm going to, kind of gesture with my hands in this open gesture. And then I'm going to ball up my right fist. And guess what? Go for Sucker Punch.
Wow. That sucks. That sucks so bad. Two exact business hit points.
Okay, here's rolling for 2 hit points on the Blood Queen. 3, unsuccessful.
Ah, sad day. Dr. Mnemonic.
Johnny Mnemonic has been deeply inspired by a member of the Lotex, Mr. Ice-T himself.
All right, I know you
has
Googled some shit for
Yeah,
this.
you have to be Googling this movie because you are pulling up so specific of details.
There's no way.
And having been inspired again by Ice-T, he goes in for the kill with another absolutely wild early 90s action movie bout of Kung Fu.
2. Get more creative. 2.
And it's a 2.
Oh.
Unsuccessful.
Much like this movie, a lot of hits that don't super land, which is pretty topical. Nimue the Blood Queen doesn't do a lot in that Hellboy movie, so I'm really trying to think about some shit that she might do. She's going to grab Excalibur and try to take off Zack Snyder's head with it. So that's sort of the plan.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, 2 hit points, which will kill Zack Snyder.
Yes, it will.
It's a 5. Zack Snyder is dead. Long live Nimue
no.
the Blood Queen.
Okay.
Oh,
well,
it is.
As Zack Snyder, I'm going to.
Sorry, as Zack Snyder's dead ass corpse? What do you mean, as Zack Snyder?
In a stunning turn of events, I reemerge, but there's no more pigment to my face because I am Zack Snyder Justice's Gray Edition now.
Zack Snyder, Justice is Gray.
And I have 50 hit points.
Has 1,000 hit points.
And I walk up to Nimue, and I'm also like 50 feet tall now, and I lean down to her ear, and I whisper, "In my movie, Batman could get raped in prison."
What?
Okay, so here's what's interesting about that. Nimue the Blood Queen is into some dark shit. So if you get the hit, she actually gets buffed by 2 hit points. But if you lose the hit, then she goes down by 5.
Okay, cool. Oh, come on.
It's high
Ones
risk,
don't
high
fail
reward.
me now. 5.
Yay! 7 for Nimue the Blood Queen.
Well, good thing I still have 1,000.
Johnny, you got anything for this shit?
Johnny Mnemonic. This whole duel has been going on for so long.
It really
Johnny
has, you guys.
Mnemonic
I'm so
has
sorry.
aged several decades. He has gotten married. That wife has since passed.
Oh my god, it's
leaving
Johnny
him a
Mnemonic.
puppy that unfortunately the Blood Queen has murdered his puppy. So he will now go on a murderous rampage against the Blood Queen.
Not him. Anyone but him.
Impeccable gun fu this time.
That's obviously a tight 7 hit points.
Tight 7.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And it's a nat 6.
Yay!
It's a nat 6. Nimue the Blood Queen is at -2 points. Incredible news. We've defeated her. It's great. We all did a good job, and the game is over. The first of many rounds of the motion picture Retribution Battle Hour is over. It's in the book. Nimue the Blood Queen is dead. Zack Snyder, Justice is Gray, is alive and kicking and will be the next villain for you to fight, presumably. And Johnny Mnemonic hangs by a thread.
I really, really love Johnny Mnemonic. John, that was so much fun. That was a good time.
Guys, that was a full 25 minutes.
It's okay. It was worth it. We're workshopping it. We'll chop and screw in the edit. It's fine. Say some more stuff about this movie.
This movie does not have enough to say. I think we're actually out of things to say about it.
I'm going to run through my notes, not in the way you're thinking, leaking, but I want to just make sure I don't have anything to say about it.
I will look through everything to make sure.
I do have one thing I want to bring up really quick. Just really quick.
Yes.
The green screen in the car is just a thing I think we need to highlight really
awful.
quick.
Yeah. There's
It's
one
the
scene where they're
worst.
driving in the car, and it looks like they're in a they're in like a Speed Racer movie or a Spy Kids movie or something. It is just the most artificial, like, sunset.jpg background you've ever seen in your life. And they've
lit it in such a strange way that the lighting looks like it's coming from away from the sun somehow. It's so weird.
The sun is pulling the light from the ocean into their faces. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all. This movie, in summary, this movie is a whole bunch of meaningless action scenes strung together by meaningless plot. It doesn't have a story. Characters do things for no reason at all. Every single action set piece is exactly the same. There's a shootout, and then a hand-to-hand fight, and then a car gets blown up every single time. They only have 2 sound cues, as Preston pointed out, quiet and loud, basically. And it has 2 people that I was convinced were actors who have since proven otherwise for me.
Have been in other good movies, but the one thing you haven't mentioned, and I completely agree with your summary, it is all of those things are true. It is not it's a slow, bad movie, but at 1.5 speed,
unless you watch it at
1.5.
Okay, great. This movie is a cinematic equivalent to eating a ice cold, well done steak.
I thought of this one in the moment. I don't know if it goes against our game here, but I had to write it down. This is the cinematic equivalent of eating a Play-Doh Fun Factory playset whole.
No. Why would that go against our game?
While we're thinking, I also just want to highlight a note that I most of the time in these reviews, in this show, we try to think of a better movie. And I kept trying to think of what I would do to make this a better movie. But I wrote here, the best version of this movie is a script at the bottom of a file drawer labeled, "Of course not." And I stand by that.
Yeah, I agree.
This is the cinematic equivalent of acrylic pour painting, where it looks kind of cool-ish, but like you know how it was done and it's not cool.
This is the cinematic equivalent to rubbing sandpaper directly onto one of your kneecaps.
This movie is the cinematic equivalent of eating a McDonald's hamburger that they forgot to put all of the toppings on.
Preston, I'll extend it. This is the equivalent to eating a McDonald's hamburger patty with your bare hands. And nothing else. It's not even seasoned.
I don't know how to say this, but while we're in the McDonald's world, it's all based on vibes. This movie is the cinematic equivalent of just looking at Grimace. Looking at him.
Pretty much, more or less.
This movie is the cinematic equivalent of when you're like, there's like a big group event where there's lots of pizza boxes open, and you go back through for seconds, and the only thing left is just cold, plain cheese pizza.
We're really centering on this is like bland food. It's just a very bland movie.
It really is.
It doesn't
this
have
movie
any
is the
seasoning.
cinematic equivalent of beige.
Yes, it is. It looks very beige. This movie was not color graded. They just developed the film and scanned her right on in. Like,
yeah. I think we got it.
Preston,
Amazing.
You're up next. What are we watching?
I'm gonna hang on. I had a few ideas, but I forgot what they were, so I'm gonna need like 30 seconds. I forgot that it was my week to pick a movie.
Okay.
Of course he did. Oh, Preston, before you choose, might all December be Christmas movies?
Unless, we could try to make Craven a Christmas movie, but I don't know how we're going to
Oh, Craven's coming. Never mind then. Never mind, because we have to watch Craven.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that.
You wouldn't even do it for Craven. Okay.
It's beginning to look a lot like Craven. Everywhere you go, there's a furry coat over there. Some knives
and another one
shit.
over
And
there.
more furry coats over there. There's some abs and knives and weird lions and shit.
It's beginning to look a lot like Craven.
No Spider-Man's inside.
We're working on it.
This is so wonderful. It's like the antithesis of me because I always have like 6 that are trying to claw their way to the surface.
There's been like 3 movies that like several movies lately have been like, oh, these will be so good. Mm-hmm. And obviously I don't remember any of them.
I'm keeping the Craven song in just so we're clear.
It's beginning to look a lot like Craven. Soon the bells will start.
I love that you just chose to just sing the rest of the real song.
I kind of forgot that that's what I was singing, so you must understand.
Oh, all right, I remember.
There it is.
Okay, great.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Lincoln, you wanna cue me in like I didn't just spend 12 minutes trying to figure out which movie I was gonna propose?
Hey, we just now finished the end of with no intervening time just finished our equivalent punishment segment. And so Preston, come in with your hot new take that you said you were so excited to tell us about. What movie are we watching?
Natural segue, fantastic.
Our next movie that we will be watching is Ava. It's an action movie from 2020.
Ava?
Oh, wow, interesting. Do we have homework? What a fucking bold question of me to ask because you didn't know what movie we were watching 14 seconds ago.
I could give you homework, but I won't.
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to the Motion Picture Retribution Power Hour. Mm-hmm. If you want to reach us by email, you can reach us at mprphpodcast@gmail.com.
No, yeah, you may be wondering, do we have any emails? And the answer is, fuck you. No, we don't.
Oh, okay.
We never have.
You will get on the podcast if you send us an email. Please rate it. We're on Apple Music now, so you can recommend it to your friends. Just search Motion Picture Retribution Power Hour or MPRPH. Both of them will hopefully guide you to the right spot. And
I also don't know if this is how podcasts work, but like, could you listen to our show, somebody? Is that how that works?
Someone listen to it, please.
Launch that into the universe.
Yeah, we can. That's 100% acceptable. So please listen to our show.
Because I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of it. I want someone to be listening to it, but no one seems to be hopping on that one.
I have been Brother Lincoln, and I, as Preston so beautifully noted, could crash you from here, man.
He could, and not only that, he wants to. I have been Brother John, and just as we live by the rules of Dinotopia, so must we be prepared to die.
Ow!
And I have been Brother Preston, relax body.
Somber words.
Yes. Especially in this uncertain time.